For 12 years, The Big Bang Theory looked like the perfect formula: science, love, and laughter in perfect balance. But behind that formula, something went wrong. Someone walked off set. Someone else was silenced. And CBS swore the footage would never see the light of day. Get ready. These 13 weird facts will change the way you see The Big Bang Theory forever. Fact 1. The scene that made Jim Parsons walk away forever. Jim Parsons had been the genius heartbeat of The Big Bang Theory for over a decade. His character, Sheldon Cooper, was television gold. Sarcastic, obsessive, untouchable. But one night on set, something inside him cracked. It happened during season 12. Long days, endless rewrites, fake laughs echoing through a studio that no longer felt like home. Jim was exhausted. He had been playing the same man for 12 straight years. And then, it happened. A scene so ordinary, yet it broke him. They were shooting a moment with Sheldon and Amy discussing the Nobel Prize. The audience was laughing, the cameras were rolling, and suddenly Jim just stopped. He stared at the floor. The laughter died. Crew members waited for him to reset, but he didn't. He quietly told Chuck Lorre, "I can't do this anymore." The next morning, he told the producers he was leaving the show. Everyone knew what that meant. The Big Bang Theory couldn't survive without him. CBS offered him millions to stay, $1 million per episode. But Jim refused. It wasn't about money, it was about his sanity. Later, he confessed that after losing his dog during filming, something in his heart shifted. "I realized there's more to life than another season," he said. That was also the moment Sheldon Cooper died. Fact 2. Johnny's gross habit behind the set. Everyone has bad habits. But Johnny Galecki's? It was something straight out of a nightmare. Kunal Nayyar once revealed that Johnny had a favorite wall on set, and for 12 straight years, he stuck his used chewing gum on it. The same wall, every day. No one noticed at first. Then the crew realized there was an entire section of the set covered in old gum. Hardened, layered, disgusting. By the time the show ended, that wall had hundreds, maybe thousands of pieces. It became a running joke between cast members. The gum graveyard. Kunal told the story laughing, but you could tell everyone was horrified. "That wall's probably worth money now," he joked. Fans actually tried to find it, some even offering to buy a piece online. That's how weird Hollywood gets. Behind the laughter, though, the story revealed something darker: the fatigue. After years of playing the same roles, people stop noticing their own behavior. They live on autopilot. Johnny's gum wall wasn't rebellion. It was routine. When you think about it, it's kind of poetic. And gross. Fact 3. The forbidden love that nearly destroyed the set. It was the secret everyone at Warner Brothers pretended not to know. Kaley Cuoco and Johnny Galecki, Penny and Leonard, were in love off-screen too. For 2 years, they hid it from the world, sneaking around between takes, exchanging real kisses during fake scenes. The chemistry that fans adored wasn't acting, it was real. But when they broke up, everything got messy. The timing couldn't have been worse. Penny and Leonard had just rekindled their romance on the show, which meant Kaley and Johnny had to keep kissing, even after breaking each other's hearts. Kaley later admitted she thought show creator Chuck Lorre did it on purpose, that he wanted to keep the tension alive for the camera. "He probably enjoyed it," she joked, though the pain in her voice said otherwise. Between takes, Kaley would vanish to her trailer, sometimes crying quietly, while Johnny kept his distance, chain-smoking between scenes. Still, the cameras rolled. The public never suspected a thing. Their chemistry was so convincing that viewers believed the couple was happier than ever, even as their real relationship was crumbling in real life. By the time the series ended, both had moved on. But insiders swear their on-screen passion was never fully scripted. That wasn't acting, one crew member said. That was closure. Fact 4. The year everyone ignored Kaley Cuoco. Before The Big Bang Theory became the monster hit we know, the guys on set thought Kaley Cuoco was too good for them. She was young, famous, and, in their eyes, way out of their league. So they never invited her anywhere. For almost a year, she had no idea her co-stars were bonding without her. She'd wrap filming, say goodnight, and go home alone, thinking everyone just wanted to rest. Then one day, she overheard them talking about a night out and asked, half joking, "You guys hang out?" The silence that followed said everything. Jim Parsons later admitted they all thought she was too cool. Kaley was stunned. "I wasn't out partying, I was home with my dog," she said years later. That moment crushed her, but it also changed everything. After that awkward revelation, the group finally started including her. They went bowling, grabbed dinner, and slowly became a real family. Ironically, that friendship became the secret chemistry that powered the entire show. Still, Kaley never forgot how it felt to be the outsider in a world she was supposed to lead. "It taught me not to assume people have it easier just because they look like they do," she once said. Fact 5. Melissa Rauch's secret battle on set. Melissa Rauch looked like she had it all together. The sweet, tiny Bernadette with the high-pitched voice and perfect comedic timing. But what fans didn't know was how physically miserable she was behind the scenes. Melissa is barely 5 feet tall, and that became a real problem on the Big Bang Theory set. The couches were deep, the chairs were huge, and the props weren't built for someone her size. Every time she sat down, her legs would lift off the floor. She literally couldn't get up without help. Crew members had to stack pillows under her just so she wouldn't disappear into the furniture. It sounds funny until you realize how humiliating it felt. She once admitted, "Every scene on the couch, that was me balancing on a pile of cushions." You can even spot it in some episodes if you look closely. But the physical part wasn't the hardest. The voice, that squeaky, funny Bernadette tone, wrecked her throat. She said she'd go home in pain after long tapings, sometimes unable to talk for days. And yet, she never complained. Melissa powered through, terrified of being replaced in a show where everyone else seemed larger than life. She turned discomfort into performance, pain into punchlines. Nobody guessed how much it cost her. Fact 6. The hidden war behind the staircase. Everyone remembers that old apartment staircase, Sheldon, Leonard, and Penny running up and down it 100 times. But here's the secret. That staircase wasn't real. It was one single set used for every floor, dressed up again and again to fool the audience. It sounds simple, but filming there was chaos. After every few steps, the director yelled, "Hold!" The actors froze mid-stride, pressed together awkwardly while crew members ran around, changing props, swapping out floor numbers, and moving fake plants. Then, action! And they pretended they were on the next floor. Kaley once joked that it was like filming inside a traffic jam. The air got hot, lights burned overhead, and the actors were shoulder to shoulder, sweating, waiting for someone to shout, "Go!" It was exhausting and claustrophobic. Sometimes the takes went wrong. Shoes squeaked, props fell, or someone laughed mid-hold, and they had to do it all again. What looked like a 5-second walk on TV could take hours. By season 8, everyone hated those scenes. Kunal Nayyar said the stairs smelled like fear and coffee. It became an inside joke. Whoever messed up had to buy the crew lunch. The audience thought the staircase was cozy and familiar. But for the cast, it was a cramped, endless loop. Fact 7. The role Kathy Bates almost refused. When the producers cast Kathy Bates as Amy's mom, they knew they were bringing in Hollywood royalty. But what they didn't expect was how close it came to never happening. Originally, Amy's mother was played by Annie O'Donnell. Quiet, sweet, forgettable. The writers wanted a shake-up, something explosive. They reached out to Bates, who had just finished a long health battle and didn't want to commit to a sitcom. "I wasn't sure I could stand that schedule," she admitted. But Mayim Bialik personally called her. She told Bates, "You'd be doing this for a daughter who fights for her place in a man's world." That one line changed everything. Bates said yes. The chemistry was instant. Kathy turned Amy's mom from a background joke into a scene stealer, loud, biting, and brutally honest. Her first episode terrified the cast because she didn't stick to the script. She improvised entire lines, snapping at Sheldon and making Jim Parsons break character mid-scene. The director kept it in. Later, Kathy never read another full script. She told Mayim, "Just tell me when to show up. I'll be the mother you never wanted." That day, it was chaos. But it worked. Critics called her the spark the final seasons needed. Fact 8. Leonard's glasses had no lenses. Leonard Hofstadter's glasses were iconic. Thick frames, pure nerd perfection. But here's what no one knew. They didn't have lenses. Johnny Galecki wore empty frames for 12 seasons. Do you know why? Because of his height. Since he was shorter than Jim Parsons, every time he looked up at Sheldon, the studio lights reflected on the lenses, ruining the shot. The solution was simple: remove them. What started as a quick technical fix turned into Leonard's signature look, but Johnny hated it. He said the fake glasses made him feel naked, as if everyone could see the actor instead of the character. "There's nothing behind them," he once joked. But it wasn't a joke. So when you see Leonard smiling through those hollow glasses, remember, they weren't just costume pieces. They were the perfect metaphor for him. A man always looking up, always reflecting someone else's light. Fact 9. Sheldon's colors and the secret code hidden in his shirts. Most fans never noticed this. Sheldon's t-shirts weren't random. Every color he wore had a purpose, and the truth behind it is darker than it looks. The costume designer, Mary T. Quigley, created a secret color code that matched Sheldon's emotional state. Red meant anger. Green meant arrogance or confidence. Yellow was fear. Blue symbolized hope. It was like a visual diary of his mental shifts, and only a few people knew about it. But here's where it gets eerie. Jim Parsons used those colors to track Sheldon's psychological decline. By season 10, he started wearing red and green more often to show how fame, stress, and isolation were consuming the character. It was never talked about publicly, one insider said, but Jim knew. He wore his breakdown. Fans thought it was just a nerdy fashion quirk, but costume notes show how deliberately the pattern changed near the end. In the finale, Sheldon's last major scene, when he wins the Nobel Prize, features him in dark blue. The designer said that wasn't random. It was closure, she explained, the color of calm after chaos. So, the next time you rewatch The Big Bang Theory, pay attention to his shirts. They're not just clothes. They're Sheldon's soul, stitched in cotton and color. Fact 10. The hidden tribute on Penny's fridge. If you ever paused a scene in Penny's apartment, you probably saw the messy collage of photos on her fridge. Funny, random, personal. But what most fans never realized is that those pictures weren't props. They were real photos of the cast and crew. Kaylee Cuoco started it. She wanted the apartment to feel lived in, so she asked the crew to give her real snapshots, birthday parties, bloopers, vacations. Over time, the fridge became a shrine of memories, and when someone from the production passed away, their photo quietly appeared there. The most emotional addition was Carol Ann Susie, the voice of Howard's mother. She died in 2014 before her character was written off the show. After her death, the crew placed a small picture of her on the fridge. Every cast member knew it was there, and every one of them looked at it before shooting a kitchen scene. It was their private goodbye. Kaylee later said it was the only thing on set that wasn't acting. When you rewatch the later seasons, that little photo of a woman you never see on screen is sitting there, framed by magnets and laughter, proof that the Big Bang Theory had more heart than it ever showed. Fact 11. The dark origin of Bazinga. Bazinga became one of TV's most famous catchphrases, plastered on t-shirts, mugs, memes, everywhere. But the story behind it isn't the happy accident fans think it was. The word didn't come from Jim Parsons or a team of comedy writers brainstorming in a writer's room. It came from a prank, a cruel one. One of the writers, Stephen Engel, was known for going too far. During a break at the studio, he hollowed out a grapefruit, filled it with glue, and sealed it shut. He left it for another writer, who bit into it and nearly threw up. Engel shouted, "Bazinga!" His version of gotcha. The room laughed, but not everyone thought it was funny. Jim Parsons, who hated mean-spirited pranks, later said he felt uncomfortable with how the word was born. "I didn't love the story," he admitted in an interview. Still, the word stuck. It became Sheldon's trademark, a symbol of childish mischief hiding behind genius arrogance. Fans adored it, but to those on set, it carried a strange weight. "Every time I said it," Jim once confessed privately, "I knew what it really meant, being the butt of the joke." And he swore he'd never say again after the finale. Fact 12. The math code. Hidden in every frame. You thought The Big Bang Theory was just about nerd jokes and awkward romance? Think again. The writers built an invisible mathematical code right into the show. Start with Sheldon's obsession, the number 73. He called it the Chuck Norris of numbers. But here's the twist. The episode where he revealed that obsession was the 73rd episode of the entire series. That wasn't luck. It was planned. Jim Parsons was born in 1973, and the writers quietly turned that into canon, fusing the actor's life with the character's logic. It didn't stop there. Amy's apartment number was 314, a direct reference to the mathematical constant pi, 3.14. It was the writer's way of saying Amy represented balance and perfection in Sheldon's chaotic world. And Will Wheaton's house? 1701. The same registry number as the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek: The Next Generation. That wasn't just fan service. It was a hidden salute to the nerd universe that inspired the entire show. Fact 13. The backstage war over Mayim Bialik's arrival. When Mayim Bialik joined The Big Bang Theory as Amy Farrah Fowler, the cast smiled for cameras, but behind the scenes, her arrival split the room. Jim Parsons loved her instantly. He fought for her to join the show, saying Amy made Sheldon real. But not everyone felt that way. Kaley Cuoco, who had carried the female spotlight for 3 seasons, suddenly had competition. Another woman, but one who wasn't written to be glamorous. Mayim was a neuroscientist in real life, sharp and confident, and she didn't play the Hollywood game. The crew adored her brain, and soon every interview revolved around the real scientist on the cast. Some insiders said the tension was quiet but heavy. Mayim's scripts got longer. Her chemistry with Jim became the new focus, and slowly, the show that once revolved around Penny's world started orbiting Sheldon and Amy instead. Kaley once joked, "I used to be the blonde. Now I'm the laugh track." To make it worse, Mayim didn't just act smart. She was smart. She corrected scientific lines, challenged jokes that felt inaccurate, and didn't care about offending people. She was fearless, one writer admitted. And that shift marked the first time The Big Bang Theory stopped being a guy show and started belonging to Amy. So now you know the secrets they tried to hide. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time for more hidden Hollywood truths.